Well, the position of any sane person would be to oppose these war. Should we have gone there? No, it was idiocy with a capital I. It was criminal, in fact. When you stop and think that we went to war on the basis of lies by a president who really didn't know what he was doing, and why we're responsible for killing thousands and millions of people. And when you really go to the heart of it, it's unnerving, because we sent American troops to die in vain. To die in vain is no different than Vietnam. And those of us who followed these things very closely know that this was a plan hatched in the 90s, not in the 11. This was hatched in the 90s. This was a plan of American imperialists to control the economy of the world. And so this was to go ahead to go into Iraq to get their oil, and then go into Syria, and eventually Iran, then Saudi Arabia. This was American economic hegemony. And we controlled the world militarily and then controlled the world economically. This is a diabolical plan of the neocons. And it's all on paper if anybody wanted to really pay any attention to this.
Well, it almost sounds like it's something that should be out.
The military-industrial complex. And it took a president, Dwight Eisenhower, to warn us about that as he was leaving office. Now, he was telling us that the demise of democracy would take place as a result of the union that would come about with corporate America and the military. That has happened. And isn't it instructive that not a president since Dwight Eisenhower has even acknowledged the problem? And now you see that we have lost our democracy. We're just not aware of it. So that a George Bush, who I don't really think is a very sophisticated or intelligent person, is able to lead the country to war on the basis of lies, and the American media is the handmaiden of all of this. What does this say about our democracy? And the Congress goes along with it. What does this say about our democracy? Dwight Eisenhower warned us about it. I'm telling you, it is here, and it's now replicated in Afghanistan. So people say, well, in a presidential campaign, how do we do that? You know how you get out? Get on an airplane. That's how you get out. Oh, this is the tragedy is that conventional wisdom, all of these educated people that sit around and pick the lint out of their navels, trying to figure out, oh, we got to do this, we got to do that. You just plain get out. We're talking about human life.
Well, Kucinich has said that the Congress controls the purse strings. If Congress says no more, it's no more.
The problem with Congress is they're a bunch of gutless wonders. They're as guilty as any president. They're worse. They're worse. When we talk of American triumphalism and imperialism, you think that's just the president? I got to tell you, it's the Congress of the United States. In the late 1990s, Congress passed what is called the Silk Road Policy. Most Americans don't even have the slightest idea what that is. That is legislation setting up policy that says that the vital interest, now I'm talking about the vital interest of America, is that our vital interest is between China and Europe, and that's the underbelly of Asia. And so that if anything happens in that area, that's our vital interest, which means, and that's the reason why we want all of these military bases in that area. That's not our vital interest. Our vital interest is in Michigan, is in Omaha, where Americans are unemployed. That's our vital interest.
Can Obama turn this around?
Of course he can't turn it around. The first thing you got to have to turn things around is courage. Obama is a bright guy, a good guy. He's a politician. And politicians are renowned for lacking courage.
How do you see all this?
What it says it all. The United States of America spends more in defense than all the rest of the world put together. That statement is a statement of American idiocy. And do you think anybody's upset about that? Let me repeat. We're spending more on defense than all the rest of the world put together, and I don't see America disturbed over that situation.
They just don't have a clue. They don't.
Well, first off, you have to tell her that their son wasn't saving freedom, because they're not going to have any freedom in Iraq. Secondly, you want to be candid and tell her that her son died in vain. But that doesn't mean that her son wasn't doing the right thing as he saw it, because we do have a duty to our government. And as their son saw it, he was doing the patriotic thing. Where there's a disconnect, it's in the leadership, the political leadership of the country didn't do the right thing. Her son did the right thing. So she can be still proud of her son. But that doesn't obviate the fact that the leadership did the wrong thing, and that caused her son to die in vain in terms of national policy, not